What's up, y'all? Hey, man, it's Toby D, pound for pound ATL. I'm back, man. The draft is over. Hey, we got our 6 picks in and did not have to trade up for a single player. Now, when's the first time you ever seen Tom Dimitroff do that since he's been here in 2008? He hasn't. Part of me believes that Rich McKay had more of an impact and influence on this draft than many think that he does or did. But hey, that's another topic within itself. But right now, I know some of you are upset. You didn't like the 16th overall pick that we made in the cornerback. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the back of my mind, 90% of me felt like the Falcons were going to go with a cornerback first with that 16th pick. Now, I did a mock draft about 2 months ago on Twitter, and I actually chose Trayvon Diggs. We didn't get Trayvon Diggs, of course, but I did have us taking a corner in the first round. We just so happened to get A.J.Terrell. Shout out to JR, like he told y'all, man, on the draft recap, all the trade rumors that was going on with possibly jumping up in the top 10 for C.J. Henderson, who ultimately ended up going number 9 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You saw Jeffrey Okudah go exactly to who many of us and many mock drafts had already pegged him going to, which was the Detroit Lions with that 3rd overall pick. 6 cornerbacks in the first round, ladies and gentlemen. And A.J.Terrell happened to be the 3rd guy taken off the board. Like I said, a lot of people did not agree with it. I saw one guy say that he had A.J.Terrell from Clemson as his 15th overall, not 15th in the draft overall first round, but 15th best corner. Now, I'm not going to be a believer in that. I think simply because of the Atlanta Falcons, people always want to dump down on us, whether it's the media, other scouts of other teams, other fans. It does not matter. Anybody we draft won't be good enough because the Falcons are not a team that people respect. Now, Arthur Blank is a guy that many respect, I'm sure, with a lot of winning seasons that he's brought to Atlanta, but we still have yet to capitalize and cap that off with the Super Bowl. But I really believe in this guy. Saturday, after that draft, hey, I'm not going to lie, I was scratching my head at first when we took A.J.Terrell with the 16th pick from Clemson Tigers. But hey, after I got up on Saturday, came back from work, he put me in the mind of a player when I actually started going back and watching him. And I'm just going to read off some stats from this former player that just so happened to kind of forcefully have to retire in 2013. Played with the Atlanta Falcons, by the way, ending his career here in 2013. So let me just read off a few of these stats and see if you can guess who this guy is that I'm talking about, that I believe that A.J.Terrell could have a career similar to. Let's do it. Drafted in the 4th round in 2003 with the 120th pick. Now, guess who was the player personnel director, the director of player personnel in New England when this guy was drafted? Yes, if you guessed it right, it was Thomas Dimitroff. Okay, now we're going to go to reading some stats. 4-time Pro Bowler throughout his career, 434 tackles, 7 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 162 pass defense, interceptions 51. 6 of those at least returned for a touchdown. This guy was amazing also in the playoffs. He was clutch in the playoffs. Just like A.J.Terrell says that he believes he can be. This guy is a playmaker, has been a complete playmaker most of his career. 2-time interception leader. Now I'm going to put it down. If you guess who I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about Asante Samuel. Now, A.J.Terrell, yes, we know he's 6'1", about 195, has a longer length in his arms, and y'all know I get real crazy for whatever excited about that when I start talking about the length of people's arm reach at 31 versus 29 and some change on Asante Samuel. But what I'm talking about that reminds me that A.J.Terrell reminds me of Asante Samuel is more the route jumping ability. And we've seen that with A.J.Terrell throughout his college career at Clemson since 2017. Now, this guy is just scratching the surface, y'all. He only had 6 interceptions and one of them returned for a touchdown. But this guy has shown that he can blitz the quarterback. And that's one of the things that we've lacked with our cornerbacks. We had Brian Poole that was good at doing it. We saw how he would tag Aaron Rodgers. Even when we played him in the regular season, he would still be the guy designated to blitz Aaron Rodgers. Brian Poole would be, and has success doing it. Now we have a guy that we're bringing in here that has that ability to do so. I'm not as down on this guy, because if he can have half the season that Asante Samuel has had, not only in seasons being that 2-time interception leader, but throughout his career, ladies and gentlemen, we got something. And I'm showing some clips here. A lot of people don't know that just because it was in Asante Samuel's wheelhouse for being mainly a zone corner and where he made his living at, Samuel could press if he needed to. And I'm showing a clip here where you're going to see him playing press coverage against Steve Smith from the Carolina Panthers. And bam, he gets an interception, judges the ball right, turns around, torques himself just right to get the ball jumping up in the air. And then you come back and see A.J.Terrell right now doing that same thing on the left side of the field against a team. These guys, to me, resemble each other so much when it comes to route jumping ability and being able to really work teams. Now, I know A.J.Terrell played a lot of press man, and even Dan Quinn and echo that. You watch his film, you see a lot of that. But this guy does have the ability to be both press and zone corner. Now, that's going to take some work, because it's going to require a lot more film study. And with this guy no longer being in college, he no longer now has to worry about books anymore. Pros is what he's going to be doing full time. And you have to imagine him getting with Joe Witt Jr., who has dealt with guys like Charles Woodson, who also had great route jumping ability like Asante Samuel. These guys have put up some great numbers. And I can see our hometown guy. I don't even know why Falcons fans can't even get excited about that, but I'm excited about it. Guy returning back home to Atlanta, where he's from. I'm excited about that just alone, but his potential and what he is going to probably be able to do at the next level with Joe Witt Jr. Getting heavy on that film study. Make no mistake about it. He's going to have some work cut out for him, dealing with at least 4 wide receivers within our NFC division that have had over 1,000 yards and at least 6+ touchdowns. Who is that? DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers in his 2nd season with them. Who is that? Michael Thomas over there in New Orleans that he's going to have to deal with. And he's got 2 1,000-yard receivers over in Tampa Bay, and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. He's going to have to put in that work, but guys, he definitely has, to me, and I am confident in what he can bring to the table, especially with some of the things that I see him being able to do, just like Asante Samuel has been able to do in his career. 2 guys that Asante loved to terrorize were the Manning brothers, and you guys know it. Eli Manning, because he played against Eli Manning within that division when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and against Peyton Manning when he's played against him, pretty much being in Peyton Manning's way for a long time before Peyton Manning and his squad finally got over the hump, beating New England in the playoffs to get themselves to the Super Bowl, and ultimately Peyton Manning winning his first one. But both of these guys have that ability to jump routes, and I think he can go down. A.J.Terrell, that is one of the greatest in his career route jumpers in the business. From press to zone, it does not matter. You see where he was able to route recognize when Tua went back out of the shotgun and did another 3 steps to throw the ball, and he recognized the route, taking that touchdown into the house, 2018. Yes, he's played in some big games, and I think that, hey, he might should watch some Asante Samuel film, man. Asante Samuel was a beast when it came to dealing with 3-by-1 sets, man. You got him over there on 3-by-1 sets, the way that he would recognize those routes and watch the quarterback's eyes and be able to capitalize and get those interceptions. Make no mistake about it, man. I'm showing clips with him also hitting people, just like you see A.J.Terrell. Now, the question was asked, and I heard someone asked the question about A.J.Terrell tackling with his shoulder. Guys, you all know that those are one of the techniques. Will he have to get better at that? I'm sure. But it's rugby style. You just continue to help him perfect that where he doesn't hurt himself doing it at the NFL level, dealing with much faster and bigger players. But other than that, this guy can handle his own, and Joe Witt always talks about taking the ball off of people. He has the natural skills, instincts to be able to do so, just like Asante Samuel. When Asante came here, man, he had a great year for the Atlanta Falcons with 5 interceptions. One of those returned for a touchdown. Y'all remember against Carson Palmer. Basically sealed that game, and I'm hoping that we can get some of those same residuals out of A.J.Terrell at 6'1", 195, 31 arm inch reach. I'm hoping we can get those same things because I believe in this guy and what he could bring to the table. Hey, enjoy these clips, man, and you tell me who you think he reminds you of, or you still feeling very trashy about the pick. You don't like the pick. Hey, I can understand that. I'm going to support whoever is on this team. And right now, welcome A.J.Terrell to the Atlanta Falcons. And I pray and hope that you have half the career that Asante Samuel has been able to produce throughout his time, who will hopefully be a Hall of Famer real soon coming up in the near future. Hey, that's all for me. I'm Toby D, pound for pound ATL. Please continue to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification button so you can get all of JR and mine's video alerts when we put new alerts out for our videos. Hey, other than that, peace. I'm out.